Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. I'm not going to do TKS episode 11 today. I'm going to do it tomorrow because I really want to finish this Q&A. Normally when I do a Q&A, if I don't get right to the questions, I never finish them. And I thought that some of these questions were really good, so I wanted to bring them to you guys. Nevertheless, without further ado, first question. This is just a comment that I thought was funny and wanted to share from this guy, Eddie C. He says, relax. You are broke and you need your wife to take care of you. SMH at you. Typical, with an exclamation point. And all I'm gonna say to Eddie C is I have no shame in my game. If my wife has to take care of us and has to be the breadwinner so that I can go to college and so that I can finish all of my degrees and then take over as the breadwinner, I'm completely down with that. We're partners. That's what marriage is all about, is helping each other to achieve each other's personal goals and aspirations and dreams and visions. Next question, and this actually kind of flows out of this one. And this is the question that I really wanted to answer today and why I wanted to do this video. From Gianni Lopez, he asked, how do you know when you found the one? And I replied to him. And I said, when you be the one. And then he replied to me and said, is this some maniac? I'm guessing he's talking about Optic Maniac. Is this some maniac, love yourself type of stuff? And I replied, I said, no, I'll answer in my next Q&A. I really liked your question. So here's the deal. When I said that the only way to know that you found the one is if you be the one, what I'm saying is that finding the right person, it is really not about having a perfect checklist and finding the person that fits that checklist. I think that's one of the biggest errors of our generation, is that you guys have so many books, so many people telling you so many different things. You can look at all these different women, men, whatever. You can look at all of them and you can see everything on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Snapchat, and you learn so much about people and you learn a lot about what you don't want. And then when you finally get in a relationship with somebody and you think it's good, they don't have what you see out there. And so you think that they're not lining up with what you want for yourself. So we have a lot of people getting divorces, playing around, never getting married. We've got people in their mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s that have never been married in their entire life because they can't find the one. The reality is that you'll never know if you're with the right person until you be the right person. There is this old saying that says, if you just run the race of life, chase after your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your visions, chase after the things that you want for yourself, at some point you're going to look to the side and someone is going to be running right next to you. Grab them, marry them, make kids with them, and have an enjoyable life with them. You know, my wife and I have been together for 17, almost 18 years. We're getting near that 20-year mark. It's crazy. We dated for 4. We were married for 4 more before we had kids. And then the rest of the time, we've had children. We have a about to turn 9-year-old son. And so the thing I'll say about me and my wife is that when I met her, I was playing around, having fun, but I told her straight up, point blank, hey, I'm gonna be a pastor one day. And she was like, I'm not really down with that, but I like you, you're a cool guy. So we just started dating and I just went on my run. I chased after my dreams. I went to Bible college. I started serving at a church, and I look over and my girlfriend at the time is running right next to me. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I just keep running. And then I got a position at the church where I was like a department head, and I look over and my wife got a job at the church. And I'm like, wow, she's really kind of taking this serious. And then I decided, you know, I'm going to leave this church, go to another church, and start a youth ministry at an inner city church here in Tacoma, Washington. And I look over and my wife is dressing up. She's teaching. She's doing stuff that I never thought I would ever see her do. She's leading groups of girls and she's helping me lead the ministry. She's singing and she's just running along with me. And then I left that church and started a youth ministry at another church and started a young adult ministry at that church. And now my wife is a well-known leader. She's leading music at the church that we're at. And she's gone to school to become a better praise and worship leader. She put time into being the best Robin to my Batman, I'll say. You know, and I know that times have changed and people are like, well, you can't really say that the man is in charge of the household, whatever. I'm just saying, I started running, I looked over, my wife was running next to me, I grabbed her, I married her, we made some babies, and now we're living an amazing life, and I love it. And I'm going to tell you guys another mistake that is often made when you're looking for the one. Is that often, and I spent the first 5 years of my relationship with my wife trying to fix her. I wanted to change her image and her character. She is beautiful. My wife is fine. She's not even lying. You know, she is the most beautiful person I've seen, like up close in person, like just amazing. I love her. You know, I'm very attracted to her, but I wanted to change some things about her character and the way she, her patience and the way she responded to certain things and, you know, the things that made her upset. I wanted to change all that. I wanted to change who she was. That is a mistake. And if you find yourself realizing that you're doing all this to change the other person, because you're like, well, they changed. They're not who they once were. You get caught in the comparison trap. And the comparison trap is when you compare someone to who they were rather than comparing them to who they can be and who they can become. And what you have to realize is you will never see the one until you be the one, until you be worthy of marrying and being with someone else. You know, a lot of you guys, you sit in your house and play video games, you ain't got no job, you still live with your parents, and you're trying to find out where the one is. You ain't there yet. You can't find the one until you be the one. Get off your video games if you have to. I just did it for 2 years. Do what you gotta do to pursue the dreams, the goals, the aspirations that you have on the inside. And if you don't know what those things are, take some time, turn off your phone, go out in the forest, sit down and think about it and write it down. Make it plain so that you know what you're pursuing. And somebody else is gonna see what you're pursuing and want to help you. It's just the way of humanity. I hope that that was a good enough question on how do you know if you found the one. You be the one if you want to see the one. I promise you, if you be the one, you'll look up one day and the other person will just be right there, and then you guys can... Okay, that's inappropriate. Let me answer one more question. I know we're up in time, but let me answer one more question. What would be some advice that you would give someone, this is from Forgiven, what would be some advice you would give someone looking to find a career in the COD esports scene, preferably somewhere in the managerial side? Here's my advice. We did a Sticks episode with Hastro and Freaky Toast way back in the day, and all we talked about was managing and running esports teams and organizations. I would also watch the interviews we've done with Hector and the different things he said, the interviews we've done with Robbie, the other interviews we've done with Freaky and any other owners and things like that, the interviews with Hastro, and then I would follow those guys on Twitter. I would pay attention to how they spend their time, what they do. If they make content like Hector does, I would pay attention to that, because every once in a while, Hector lets out some gems of how he leads. But I can tell you, he runs a family. That's the way he thinks of it. He runs a family. It's not just an organization to him. It is a family. He calls his players his friends. Those are his friends. Those are the people who he spends most of his time with. And he wants to do that. That's what I love about the Optic organization. To be 100% honest, that's what I love about it. Is it's like a family. You know, when they lose someone, they're sad about it. When they gain someone new, they all get excited and they try to welcome them in. And it's just an awesome thing to watch and be witness to. I would also look into maybe getting some books on running esports organizations. Find out what happens behind the scenes. That's some of the stuff you can't see on YouTube or Twitter or anything like that. And find out what you can. And then look at your own life, and do you have the grind? Do you have the ability to grind what it takes to be a manager and to run an esports organization? Because the grind is so real. It is so real to be an esports org owner or manager in these days. Also, you can look at the interview we did with Big Snacks on the sticks. I think all of that is on my channel. You can find it or look it up or something like that. Yeah, I know I basically promoted my own content, but that's really the best answer I have for you, because in an effort to help people like yourself, that's why we brought those people on the sticks, is because we wanted to help people that wanted to wind up in that kind of place. All right, so we're at 10 minutes. I'm horrible at keeping track of time, but I guess I'm gonna end this here with only answering 3 questions. I will try to keep going at these because these questions are really good, and I'm gonna try to keep going at these. Thank you guys for asking the questions. Thank you for watching my videos. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.